I'm going to freestyle a bit. Okay, so I'm not very well prepared. Not that I usually am, but um, I'm prepared even less this time. Anyway, so what we look at in this video is how to use the Twilio connector with Power Apps and Power Automate. In case you don't know, Twilio is, and we should probably go to their website. So Twilio is this pretty amazing SMS service, right? Which allows you to send SMS messages from any solution that you may be building. And it doesn't do just SMS. It also does like so many other things. So there's voice and there's other things and WhatsApp and so many other things as well, right? So, but we will look at the SMS aspect of things. And also, if you're wondering why you would want to send SMS messages from your Power App solution, I would say just look at the solutions area on the Twilio website, because here you can see that you can use it for marketing and operations and customer service, financial services, retail, etc. So, for example, if you want to reach out to your customer base and you want to announce a new product or a new launch of a new service or a new location, etc., you can send them all a bulk SMS. And similarly, if you're working on an issue for your customer and you want to send them regular updates, regular status updates, etc., you can again send them an SMS. So in various scenarios, SMS is something that it's just sits on our phones, right? So it's the first thing that we look at, besides Snapchat, of course. Um, uh, but SMS is something that we almost all of us use on a daily basis, and we get, like, I don't know, hundreds, if not thousands, of SMSs, depending on who you are. But so that's why I think like sending SMS from your Power App solution can be very, very effective in reaching out to your customer base and just like giving them updates or giving them discounts or just doing some like retail like things, etc. So anyway, so that's what Twilio is. And before you actually start using it in your Power App solution, you have to sign up for it, right? So come on in here, you say log in or sign up, or I don't see sign up. It's somewhere there. But once you sign up, you come to your like a dashboard, right? So they call it console, and this is where you have like projects, and each project gives you around $15, 15.50, I believe, as like trial money. So it's your starting balance, and you can use that balance to uh, test out Twilio and just try out different things. And speaking of dollars, though, so really quickly, let's look at pricing, so you understand how it works. And there are different types of options. I'm waking up in 6 hours, and like pay as you go is probably the most convenient, where you pay for what you use, right? So and if you look at the SMS part, the pricing for SMS is $0.0075. I don't know how many cents that is. That's too many zeros for me. But it's fairly inexpensive and it's quite affordable. So you can certainly like use the pay as you go and start sending out SMS messages from Twilio. So anyway, so once you have your project set up, it will ask you to choose a phone number. And this is the from number, right? So this is your phone number. And then it also gives you the account SID or SID and auth token. And these are the two things that we will use in Power Apps. Okay, so when we like choose our Twilio connector. All right. So having said that, let's switch to Power Apps. So I have this blank app here. I was trying something else before. So here, let me just start with this. Okay, and so here, what I'll do is, so I want to, I'll send an SMS to one person. Okay, so let's say that person's name happens to be Michael Stupp. Okay, and of course, these names will come from a different source, but this is just to show you how it works. And then we have a text input, right? So this is where we'll type our message, whatever needs to go, and then we will do the button. Okay, that's what we will press to send the message. So now what we want to do is on select of this button, we want to say Twilio send a message. Okay, so we'll just, oh wait, gotta add the Twilio connector first. So here, okay, so I'm gonna choose, so you know, it's actually in your connectors list right here. So you just like search for it and you choose it, right? And in my case, wait, I'm gonna just remove one of the older ones, or the newer ones. So you know, it just like shows up here, right? In my case, it didn't ask for the auth sid and the auth token because I've already done that. But if you are choosing the Twilio connector for the first time, it will ask you to enter those two numbers. All right. And once you enter those, that's it. Your Twilio connector is ready. So now what I'll do is I will say on select of this button, I'll say Twilio, and then you will see that it has 3 actions, right? So I'll say send message, and then it expects a from number, and that number is here. So I'll choose this. I don't think I need the +1 in the front. And then who is it going to? It's one of my numbers, so I'm gonna type it in here. 44. Okay, please do not send me dick pics. Keep those to yourselves. And then what's the text? So the text will be coming from here, the text box, right? So we will say this is text input 3. Clearly, I have experimented a little bit. So text input 3 dot text. Okay, and that's it. All right, so before I send the message, what I will do is I will turn on my phone, and reflectors kind of weird. So here, let me just start this again, and we will look at reflector. I'm sorry you have to watch me do this. It'll only take like another 20 seconds or so. 8706 and okay. And okay, where are you? There you are. All right. So so now what I'll do is I will say, let's say, hello, Michael. How's it going? Good. All right. And then I press the button. Hopefully there was no error. And there you go. Look at that. Right? So there's my message right there. And it's coming from Twilio. And it has that weird text about sent from trial account because it is from a trial account. And Twilio just adds that at the beginning of every text message. So, you know, so this is such an easy way to send a message to someone, right? Now think of, you know, maybe you are working in CDS or Dynamics, right? So I may be here, forgive the web interface, you know, so I may be working with this company here. I may be looking at their investment advice and whatnot, and I think to myself, you know what, I should send them a text message real quick. And you can have an embedded app that actually gives you the ability to maybe send them a message to their primary contact or all the contacts, etc., right? Or their procurement manager, whoever it can be. So just an easy, very, very easy way to communicate with someone with through a channel that's very widely and very popularly used. So what we looked at just now was how to send a message to one person, right? So what if we want to send an send messages to multiple people? So for that, what we'll do is I'll add another screen, and this time I'll add a gallery. Okay, 1 second. Okay, never mind. So where is galleries? Wow, got distracted. Okay, so here's my gallery, and then I will attach it to accounts. Okay, and let's add a label. Oh man, I'm on the wrong environment. Okay, sorry. I will have to. There's something weird with this environment. It doesn't load all the accounts, so that's why I have to be here in a different environment. So anyway, so this gallery right here is associated with an entity in CDS. It happens to be accounts, and the thought here is that I might want to send an SMS message to all of them, or some of the ones that I select, etc., or maybe who I send to is driven by a marketing list, etc. So essentially what we'll do is we will create a collection of all the people who need who need to be sent this SMS, and then we will use Flow or Power Automate and use the Twilio connector there to send out the bulk SMS, right? So what I'll do here is I will, wow, okay, so I cannot believe I'm doing this. Then, okay, so the other one is this. So these are some of the phone numbers that I have, and I will just use those to create a collection, and let's see if they did create a collection. There. Okay, so that's my collection with 2 phone numbers, and the thought here, again, just for demo purposes, but whatever is listed in this gallery or whatever's in whatever I choose, all of those numbers go in a collection, and then we press a button to send the messages, right? So what I'll do is, here, let me just add a new screen here. Okay, I'm gonna do this again real quick. So I have a gallery and it's connected to accounts. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what we need. And I will add a button. Okay, and then on this button, so what we want is on click of this button, we want to call a flow. All right, so let's create a flow real quick. And I did try it a little bit ago. So in case this doesn't work, I have one that kind of works. Okay, so skip. So for this flow to work, we want the input to come from Power Apps, right? So we'll say Power Apps, and there's that. All right, and then the next step is, so what we want to do is we want to create, so we want to send the phone numbers in the form of a collection that will be received by Power Automate. Okay, so for that, what we will do is we will initialize a variable, and that would be of type string. All right, and let's give it a name. It'll be called send SMS to these numbers, and let's rename this too. We'll call it SMS collection from Power Apps. Okay, so that's the name of the variable, right? And then here, so this can be, all right, so whatever is being asked in, oops, this. So since we give it a name, it gives us a nicer description. Okay, so that's our basically an array of string numbers, right? And these are coming from Power Apps. So the next step would be to, and what we'll also do is we'll pass the collection in the form of JSON, right? So when Power Automate receives that JSON, it needs to parse through it and get the right numbers. So for the next step, we actually need to kind of give it a sample payload. And we can do that by just running a quick test. Okay, so here, let me just save this. And I'm going to go back into my Power Apps, right? And here I'll say, I hope I'm in the right one. So I'll say action and Power Automate, and I choose the one that I just created, which is this one right here. Is it? I think so, yeah. And I say add, I just click it and it adds it. So now what you'll see is you will see that it's adding that flow on the on select. I will simply say JSON, right? And what am I passing? I'm passing the SMS numbers. There, that's the name of my collection. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So let me just do a trial click here so that it runs, and you will see what I'm doing here. So if I go back and look at the run here, okay, so this is what the JSON looks like, right? So this is what it's sending from Power Apps. So I'm gonna edit this real quick, and we will say, all right, so the next step will be to actually parse the JSON. So we'll say parse. Okay, so there's that. It's one of the data operation functions. What's the content? So the content is coming from this. So this is this variable, right? So which is, we named it send SMS to these numbers. So the content is that, and the schema is, so we can just click generate from sample and click or paste the sample that we copied. And there you have it. So this is our beautiful schema that was generated, and this is what Flow will expect from Power Apps and parse through this JSON payload and look at the actual, or extract the actual phone numbers. So once we have our JSON parsed, we will add our next and final step, which is to actually send the text messages. So we will say Twilio, right? And this time we will say, again, send text message. So we'll choose that. And what's the phone number, right? So in this case also, oh, this can be tricky. Well, never mind. If you're doing this for the first time, it will ask you to enter the auth SID and the auth token. And once you enter it and then they're valid, it fetches the phone number associated with those two values. And that's what it's doing here right now. Okay, so it knows the phone number associated with those auth ID and whatever. And then what phone number, right? So this is where we will say the phone number should be coming from the JSON payload, which is this one. Okay, so I just say phone number, and notice when I say that, it already knows that it's actually coming from a list. So it has to send the SMS to each phone number in that JSON payload. So it kind of loops through all of them. We know that already, right? And then what's the text? So we will say, hello, dear friend. And again, you can personalize this. If all these values are coming from CDS or SharePoint or anywhere, you can say hello, Michael, and hello, Peter, and whatever. And you say, just today, get 50% off on our latest products. Okay, and that's it. So wow, okay, it's 11:30 apparently. Alexa, turn on desk lamp.
Desk lamp isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
Okay, don't have patience for that right now. You know so much about me today. Like, I have an Alexa, I have, my phone numbers. All right, would like to stay alive. So, all right, so let me just save this. And, oh, it gave me some warnings. Okay, I have a feeling it's not going to work. Let's see why. You may break your power with the changes on the triggers. Okay, we'll just have to see. Pretty sure it's going to not work. Oh, well, okay, the warnings went away. Good. All right, so what I'll do now is should probably try the phone again. Reflector will have to quit. Okay, and try it again. Sorry, this is taking like a little longer. Um, okay, 5873. All right, and let's see what happens this time. So what we will do is uh, this is our app. So now that our flow is ready and our button's ready, so I'm gonna just click this button. All right, it did something. Hopefully it didn't error out. Let's see what it did. Did it fail? We don't have text messages yet, so maybe it did. Of course it did. Okay. Uh, so let's see what happened here. Shit. Oh, you know what? Glad this error came up. So if this happens, if you see this error where it says cannot be evaluated because property shared underscore Twilio doesn't exist, and it doesn't have to be always Twilio. If it's shared underscore, Dynamics or shared underscore SharePoint or whatever, what you have to do, and I hope this works, is you basically have to remove this and re-add it. That's all, and it works. So that's gone, right? Here, I'm gonna just delete this. Let's re-add this. So we'll go to Power Automate, and this is the one, right? SMS collection from PA. Yeah. Okay. So, and then we'll do the thing again. JSON, SMS numbers. Okay. So there's that, and we say, all right, click it, and there it is. Okay, there it is. All right, we don't even have to look. Here, let me just do the reflector again. It's a pain in the ass, but what can one do? Oh man. Well, we'll do it again. I lost those notifications, but 7809. All right. So we'll keep this here, and let's just do it again for fun. So here we are with our button. I'll click it, and very soon, there it is. There it is. Both the numbers, right? So what we just did is we actually sent bulk numbers, bulk SMS messages to multiple numbers, right? So in our demo, we just had two numbers, but you may have 200, 2000, 20,000. You don't have to worry about like how the processing happens, because all of that is happening on the Twilio side. All you have to do is use the connector and decide how and in what scenarios and what circumstances you can use the Twilio connector. It's a very easy and a very effective way of just keeping people notified, right? And whether it's for marketing purposes, whether it's for customer service purposes, or whether it's for like safety purposes, right? So maybe you work at an oil rig and something went down and your employer doesn't want you to go there. So before you even start your work, before you even leave your house, you can get a notification saying, hey, something's not right. Please don't go to the oil rig today, and things like that. So anyway, so like think about scenarios where you have to reach out to people, and how you can use a thing like Twilio to just like keep everyone in the loop and make sure that everyone's happy, everyone's satisfied with the way you provide them updates, and just like create a wow experience for everyone. So that was the Twilio connector with Power Apps. Sorry it took so long. All the reflector and all that stuff. Anyway, if you have any questions, if you need any like help with any like scenarios and whatnot, let me know. Post in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll chat with you later. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.